Hey guys, it's Sean. I want to go over a couple things on the dry fire video. Another one, the first one, I had a lot of good feedback on it. A lot of people wanted to see more things that I do with dry fire drills because I've told a lot of people I do dry fire drills roughly 10 to 1 on live firing. If you didn't see my first video, you should watch it. It was actually the very first video I posted to my channel. And basically what I went over with the first video was being able to locate your firearm, having a good grip on it, drawing your firearm, keeping your finger out of the trigger guard, keeping it in a safe 45-degree angle in front of you. A lot of people call it a low ready, and then bringing it up and acquiring your sights. That is some good drills to practice, and being able to locate your firearm to reholster your weapon as well. That's some good drills to practice around your house, just to create muscle memory to where whenever you do go to the range, you're going to practice the same stuff that you do with the house. I mean, muscle memory, dry fire drills, working on your muscle memory is what essentially you're going to bring forward to the range with you whenever you are doing live fire. So that nature, and then putting it back. Now the ones I'm going over with today are going to be ones that I do as timed, and if you don't have a shot timer, that's fine. You just need to, you can have someone work with you, use a stopwatch, something of that nature. I'm doing for 1 second, and what I'm working on with that is I'm working on in a start motion. When the buzzer goes off, I'll grab, punch all the way out, pull the trigger, and I'm trying to do that in under 1 second. All I'm trying to do with that is work on my speed for pulling out and getting my first shot off. If I was in a defense situation, just know this, okay, there are a couple different ways to do things. In a competitive shooting style, you're going to go in, you're going to bring it up, you're going to get your guard hand on it somewhere in this area, and then push it all the way out. In a defense situation, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to bring it up here. So this way I can go ahead and pull that trigger if I need to, if I have a threat right here. So, you know, a lot of people critiqued my first one and they said, no, you don't want to do that. Well, my first video I was going over was in a competitive style shooting. Of course, in a defense situation, it's going to be completely different. Yes, competitive style shooting, you are training to essentially better yourself so when you do get into a defense situation, but I work on both. So not only am I working on a competitive style, but I will also go to the range and I'll work on a defense style. So if I have to push someone away and then start right here, and then when I create distance, get my guard hand on, something of that nature, I do work on a lot of things to that as well. That's a different video. So basically what I'm going to work on today is the 1 second. So what I'm doing is I'm going to go for a draw all the way out, acquire my sight, and press the trigger. I haven't been practicing yet today, but I'm going to go ahead and do that now, and just so you can see what I'm talking about. That was slow. So we'll go again. I didn't. That way you can hear the click on the firing pin. Still slow. Getting a little bit better. I'm not pressing the trigger until I acquired my sights. That time I didn't even press it because I was late and I was talking. I was late then too. Had a bad grip. These are things to work on that way. And when I get warmed up, I'll get better, quicker at it. I had a bad grip. I was close there. I didn't press though. right at it. I didn't press. close there. I would have been a little bit low, but still good. A little high on that one as well. And all I'm doing is I'm looking at something. No one's behind the camera here, so just so you know, starting to get a little bit of more heat going on there. No one's behind the camera, so I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. This way you get another angle of my draw stroke and my trigger press, and you can watch the nose of the barrel, how I'm trying to make sure if I'm moving at all, that's when I'm not pressing the trigger, because I haven't acquired my sight alignment yet. I don't want to go ahead and press it off because that creates poor muscle memory. So see, I was a little off there. Going for a different. As you'll notice, I'm starting to get either beat it or right at it. I was talking, messed myself up. I was a little off there. I moved. And it's just, it takes a little bit of warm up to get used to it. I beat it there. Beat it there. Beat it there. Beat it there. Alright, I'm not going to keep going over this. I can do this all day. But that's one of the things I do, and that helps me work on my speed and accuracy, or sight acquisition in a fast pace. Another thing that I do is I'll pick different items. So right now in my garage, I'll pick probably 4 different items, and I'll go from one to the other pressing. And basically what I'm doing with that is I'm working on moving sight acquisition on different targets. So also you could just do a trigger press without having to do the reset, but I like doing the reset because I'm constantly moving and pulling it off. So that's another one that I do. And then the last one that I do is I work on my trigger press and reset. And basically what I'm talking about with that, hopefully I'll be able to get close enough and see all this, but let's see. Hopefully it'll zoom in. All right, I'm just going to move my finger here and you can see the trigger. Watch the trigger reset. So that move forward, and then I'll press it back. Now, if I keep the trigger pressed back and then let it go forward, you heard it click. That's when the trigger reset, and then I can go ahead and press the trigger again. And essentially what I'm doing is I'm not working on hearing it. I want to hear it now whenever I'm doing my dry fire drills, but the main thing I'm focusing on is feeling it. So that way, whenever I do go to the range, I know how far to let it out. So when I am working on speed, I'm not bringing my finger off of the trigger and then repressing the trigger. All I'm doing is letting it go forward just enough to the reset, and then I'm pulling it again. So that's a couple things that I like to work on. Dry fire wise, I'm probably going to have to edit this video because it's too long. I was doing a lot, but roughly I just wanted to give you a couple other examples of dry fire drills. There's a million different things that you can do. There's a million different things that you can incorporate into your dry fire drills. These are just a few that I work on, along with some of the basics, and there's some others that I work on. But hopefully this helped you guys. Hopefully you'll be able to see or be able to have another idea of something you guys can work on at home. Any questions or feedback, feel free. Make sure you share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Give it a thumbs up, whichever. And as always, you guys have a blessed day. Carry on.